morning, Baker. Today is November the 8th. I'm Alexis Pugh.
And I'm Blessa Payton. BH1 starts now.
Thank you for tuning in. First in news, Mrs. Norman's forensics class held a trial murder scene behind the school.
Here's Johnny with the dibs.
Here at Baker High School, the forensics class does a crime scene investigation every year. So tell us, Miss Norman, what exactly does this teach the students?
With crime scene documentation, we are documenting a crime scene. The kids go out and they do measurements using triangulation and rectangular coordinates. And they document the scene by doing sketches of the scene and also taking photographs at a mid-range shot and then an up-close shot, and they do an overview version of the whole scene itself, and then they use this information to put together a theory on what happened.
Thank you. What is the crime scene about?
Well, this crime scene, we have 5 pieces of evidence. We have a body that's severely decomposed, and we have a rock with some blood on it. We have a shoe. We have a backpack that contains a map and a flashlight and a vest. And then we had a bullet casing. So they have to really decide what crime was committed based on the evidence that they see out there.
I'm here with Detective Fisher today. So, Detective, what exactly do you do?
Well, first of all, we have to sketch out the crime scene. Second of all, we take pictures of everything that's happened and all the evidence. And then after we have all the pictures and the sketches, we take notes, and the notes can indicate the crime and like what was committed.
I'm here with CSI Agent Cumby here. As a CSI agent, what do you guys do?
We come out, we document the scene, we collect evidence, we get measurements, we get sketches, we get photographs, and after we get everything together, we send it off to the lab to get analyzed by the forensic scientist.
All right, Detective, since you're a part of measuring, what exactly do you guys measure?
Well, we have to measure where the objects are at in the crime scene.
Is that all?
That's it.
Now, if any of you guys are interested in doing the investigation, try joining the forensics class. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Johnny. I think I know who the murderer is. Saturday, the drama department went to district trombone competition. Out of 38 students, 25 will be going to Troy to represent Baker in December. Congrats to the department.
Bonjour.
What?
It means hello in French.
Oh. Speaking of French, we have students coming to Baker from France.
Let's give it to Jessica to educate us about these new visitors.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Jessica. In the near future, we'll be having French students joining us here at Baker. They'll be staying for 2 weeks around February through the Mardi Gras break. They'll be staying with host families of Baker students. I caught up with Ms. Bates for more information.
How many French students are going to be coming over here to Baker?
There are 20 to 22, I forget exactly, and 2 teachers.
And what's the purpose of them staying here?
Well, they're coming here because they want an opportunity to practice their English. They've been studying English for several years now, but there's nothing like a real-world experience. And they want to learn more about the American culture.
Is there anything that you want to add?
Well, we are looking for host families for these students. I already have several in my classes who have volunteered, but it's open to anyone at Baker who wants to host these students at their home for the 2 weeks that they're here. You just include them as part of the family. So, you know, if you go visit grandma, they go visit grandma. All of that stuff is a little more exciting when it's in another country and another culture. So it might seem a little boring to you, but they'll really get a kick out of it. So if you're interested in being one of those host families, just come see me. I can tell you all about it.
Okay, thank you.
After hearing about this, I wanted to learn more about the typical life of a French student. The French school year lasts all calendar year. Typical students are in class for 6.5 weeks and 2 weeks of holiday breaks. And it's normal for school to be held from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Those students have a whopping 90-minute lunch break. Americans love fast food, but in France they tend to take their food very seriously and want to linger over a meal instead of eating it as quickly as possible. If you go to any random school in Paris and then go to New York during lunch, one thing that you will immediately notice is the food that the students are eating. As you can see, Americans have fries, pizza, burgers, vegetables, and soda. France, on the other hand, has meat or chicken, vegetables, rice or pasta, and water. In France, they start school as young as 3 years old, and attendance in high school is only required up to the age of 16, after which students may attend more schooling that is the equivalent of 3 years in American college. French schools typically don't offer a wide range of extracurricular activities. They tend to focus on education and save hobbies for outside of school.
Merci, Jessica. I would love to travel to France one day.
Now let's pitch it over to Mackenzie with sports.
Hey y'all, this is Mackenzie Dunning here with All Things Sports at Baker this week. The basketball team kicked off their upcoming season against Blunt Thursday. Connor Key caught up with Coach Blackerby on what to expect out of the boys this season.
Hi, I'm Connor Key here with Zach Brunson, D. Lilly, and Coach Blackerby for the basketball team. So Zach, tell us a little bit about the McGill-Tulane tournament coming up you guys are going to be playing in.
Well, first off, I want to thank you for coming yesterday to our Blunt game. And we're going to be playing Cottage Hill on Wednesday, Faith on Thursday, and Saraland on Saturday. It's going to be a good tournament, so come out and support.
All right, thank you. D, what are you guys doing to prepare for this really important tournament?
Hard work at practice.
All right, then well said. So, Coach Blackerby, how are you guys going to do? You know, are we looking for wins or losses? How are we going to do?
Well, every time we come out on the court, we're looking for a win, but we're trying to just give our best effort and play to a certain standard no matter who we're playing, whether it's a big area game or somebody ranked in the state or if it's the worst team in the state. Doesn't matter.
All right, I like that attitude. All right, back to you guys in the studio, Mackenzie.
Thanks, Connor. Be sure to come out and support our Baker basketball team as they compete in the McGill tournament November 13th to the 14th next weekend. You'll be sure to be watching some of our returning varsity members, Demetri Williams, Dante Lilly, Zach Brunson, and Jared Holland. In other news, our Baker cross-country team will be competing in state this weekend. Make sure to congratulate them as they return Monday to school. Here's Jacob Jones with this week's College Pick'em.
Hey guys, welcome to the College Pick'em. As you can see, Daigle is now in first place. As I kept my promise last week that the tie would be broken, this week's games are LSU and Alabama, Oregon and Stanford, Oklahoma and Baylor, and Nebraska and Michigan. Oregon and Stanford and Oklahoma and Baylor, both those games were last night. Check ESPN.com for the results. And now Hunter Albrin wants to have his insights on the games. I'm here with Hunter Albrin to get his picks for this week's games. Who do you think is going to win out LSU and Alabama?
Alabama.
How about Baylor and Oklahoma?
Baylor.
Nebraska and Michigan?
Michigan.
Oregon and Stanford?
Oregon.
There you have it. Thank you, Hunter.
Thanks, Jacob. This week, our swim team competed in the Fairhope Invitational. Kennedy caught up with teammates to see the results.
This is Kennedy Slaughter from BH1 Sports, standing here with Maria Reed from the swim team. Maria, what were the results from the Fairhope Invitational last Tuesday?
We swam fast and tried our hardest.
And what do you think you can do to improve next week?
We've just been practicing really hard to get faster.
All right, well, there you have it.
Thank you, Kennedy. We wrapped up our football season with a 28-0 shutout against LaFleur last Friday. Here's Coach French on his final thoughts on this season.
Hey, Baker. This is Jacob Jones with BH1 Sports. I'm here to talk with Coach French. And the Baker Hornets came off their final game of the season with a win, with a 28-0 win over LaFleur on senior night. So, Coach, how do you think Baker did as a whole this past season?
Well, it was a good year. Of course, we had the close ones. We wished it had gone our way, and it didn't. But, guys fought hard in every game. And, it was a good year for these seniors. I think it gives us something to keep building on. It's a third big block, 3 non-losing seasons in a row, 2 winning seasons in a row. A whole lot of good things happened this year.
And how do you believe Baker will build off this season going into next season?
Well, it's kind of strange, but it seemed to be that we had a bigger sense of urgency last year because we lost the playoff game. It come off a win. Right now we're just kind of glad, we ended good. And I think, you know, we'll get serious here, if not before the end of this week, then going into next week, you know, we'll crank it back up and get the off season started. These guys that remain, you know, now they're kind of used to winning. And I think it's going to be a big desire of theirs to keep it going. And so, you know, we thank the guys who continue to build, and we'll encourage these guys and, you know, admonish them to follow in that tradition.
What will you remember most about this past season?
Well, obviously, I think the thing that jumps out at you, it was the first time we'd beaten Murphy in 23 tries, 24 tries. You know, it was a long time coming, and I think, you know, we probably lost some because the list had gotten so long and, you know, the burden had gotten so heavy. But should have some of that off our back now, and so that was a great accomplishment for them. And, you know, this group then, they now go out without any losing seasons, and so it's good to see a group go out that way.
Do you have anything you want to say to the outgoing senior football players?
Well, just congratulations. I think, you know, they're the first group to come through Baker without a losing season in about almost 25 years, and they're the first group to ever do it under the present system with regional setup. And you know, that makes for some tough schedules, and you know, they hung on even though, you know, it was a lot of bad tradition, you know, fighting against them, as it has been for a long time now. They didn't pay any attention to that, and they just kept working hard and believing in themselves, and got it done. And I really congratulate them for that.
Thank you, Coach French. This has been Jacob Jones with BH1 Sports. Back to you, Mackenzie.
Thanks, Jacob. That's all for this week on BH1 Sports. I'm Mackenzie Dunning. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Alexis, do you write songs?
Yes, I actually have like an original one right here. Do you like it?
Let's see what Mitch has to say about this.
One boy. One club. Songwriting club. One mission.
To, like, I don't know, be an inspiration to you all at the songwriting club. Now tell me why you've decided to create this group.
I didn't know any other songwriters in the school. There were other artists besides me. We didn't know each other. No collaboration or networking going on.
So tell me, what goes on at a regular meeting?
We've had 3 meetings so far. The first one was kind of just, I guess, organizing ourselves. Talked about learning a little bit about home recording, learning a little bit about running live sound. The last meeting we had was in the auditorium after school.
Have you ever, you know, looked at a song that somebody else wrote and just lied and told them that it was terrible so you could have it?
If I write a song, that song is almost like their baby.
Well, you know, I'm somewhat of a songwriter myself, and I have a cousin who knows this other guy whose brother knows her parents, and then her stepsister's mom knows this guy over in California that works with some songwriters. And I don't want to brag, but they said I was pretty good. So anyway, I have a little song that I wrote for this occasion, and it's likened to that of probably a little better than the Beatles. It's a somber commentary on commercialism and the advent of transnationalist culture. It's probably one of my most profound pieces. Here, I'll give you a little bit of it. Okay, all right, I can do it. Okay. STEW, I like stew. LOVE, I love you. SCHL, I'm at school. POOL, I have pool. Upon the performance of my song, I could see that Mr. Collins was not impressed.
Well, there's only a couple things that song might be missing. You got some basic ideas. You might want to come up with a hook, come up with a hook, come up with a hook.
I was enlightened by Mr. Collins and his songwriting club's voodoo magic, so then I took it upon myself to create an even better song.
I'll never be able to find that hook. I'm tired of looking. Let's go take a nap.
That Mr. Collins was not impressed.
I've got it.
Have you heard Mitch's new song? No, man. I'm here. Listen to it.
Yeah. This one's for you, songwriters. Yeah. I see you eating that stew. You know you want some stew. STEWI like stew. LOVE I love you. SCHL I love school. POOL I have pool. Yeah. Yeah, eating some stew, getting turned up. Look at me, eating all the stew, getting turned up.
All right, well, thank you very much, Mr. Collins. You've been a great help.
You're a good writer.
Thank you. We could write songs together. We could be like a regular Lennon McCartney kind of duo going there.
Hey, I love stew.
I love stew.
According to Mitch, I think I could fit into this club. Thank you, Mitch. On Monday, the SCA held a blood drive. They saw who donated blood. Thanks for helping out, Hornets.
Class of 2014 t-shirts are in. If you have paid your senior fees, go by your homeroom teacher during Hornet Block and pick them up.
Why don't these flipping desk seniors just pay their dues already?
You mad?
Yes.
I see. I wonder how Jacayla handles her frustrations.
Hey, Baker. Profanity. You son of a biscuit-eating bulldog. Profanity is pretty common these days in middle schools and high schools. Walking through the halls, many conversations are held, many of which contain profane language. Many students use profanity to be cool, to, fit in. I got a chance to ask a few people how they think we can control the profanity in the hallways and outside of school. I'm here with Dr. Walker. How do you think we can control the cursing and profanity used on campus?
I think it starts at home. If we could learn how to communicate more effectively at home without the use of cursing and learn to talk to one another and resolve issues without using profanity, I think that that would instill better behavior and better communication skills in our students, so when they come to school, they won't pattern what they do at home.
Thank you. Cursing is a bad habit that's hard to break, and later on in the workforce, it'll have negative consequences. The language used at school makes a bad impression on the school. Little do you know, your personal conversations can be heard by visitors, parents, students, and even the faculty and staff. I'm here with Mr. Moore and Mrs. Morgan. How do y'all feel about the usage of profanity, and what is the history of profanity?
All right, there are lots of theories on the history of profanity, like maybe profanity is, like all things worthy of Walmart, out of Asia. Maybe Marco Polo brought all of that back, tried to use it and be cool, but the Europeans butchered it. And so now we have odd words. But some people think that it is actually from World War I, that it all revolves around trench warfare. So Mr. Moore has some examples of where some things might have come from.
Sometimes they were walking through the trenches and they'd be like, "There's my son in a ditch."
In World War I, in trench warfare, people really were worried about being F-bombed because the Germans called their planes Fokkers. That's true, folks. Now, what we generally say is when you can't just get fiddlesticks out and feel like you've released that anger, then you need to make random history references that nobody gets. So all the people end up feeling is confused and not offended. Like for me, I like to refer to the Russians and say, "Oh, that's Bolshevik!" That's what I go with.
Research shows that profanity occurs about 0.5% of one's daily word usage. This shows that most people use profanity almost as much as they use personal pronouns, which come in at 1%. It's such an abrasive and lazy language. It also gives a bad impression and offends more people than you think. Who's swearing now? I'm challenging you. Let's keep our campus clean, not only from trash, but from our trashy mouths. This has been Jacayla Mediz, signing off.
Here's Tamisha on how to enlighten your weekend.
Hey guys, sorry Tamisha isn't going to be able to join us this week, but I have all the entertainment for this week. Like movies you must see, like Freebirds and Thor: The Dark World. Also, Gravity is still out in theaters, and the BH1 team recommend going to see it. Here's more. Gravity stars Sandra Bullock as a medical engineer and George Clooney as a veteran astronaut. The two are on a shuttle mission when the disaster strikes and the shuttle is destroyed, leaving the two tethered together, floating in space with no link to Earth for rescue. Oxygen is running out and their only way home may be getting out further into the blacked out expanse of space. Go check it out in theaters this weekend. In other news, we have Britney Spears as our featured artist of the week. Her new album, Britney Jean, will be coming out in December 3rd. You can get it pre-ordered on iTunes. For those of you wanting to go out this weekend, there's a 5K run held at Christ United Methodist Church Saturday at 8 o'clock. There's another 5K fun run at the Municipal Park on Sunday at 8 o'clock to stomp out muscular dystrophy. And the musical Legally Blonde will be showing at Joe Jefferson Playhouse at Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning. Signing off for BH1 News, this is Hadley Griffin.
Now it's time for The Life of a Weatherman starring Roderick.
Hi, I'm Roderick Shelton reporting to your weekend weather report. This weekend, your temperatures will range between a low 70s and the mid 40s. So make sure you grab a jacket before you head out.
Sad to say, this is the end.
See you next week.
Same time, same place.